and welcome to episode 6 of Shelley Lowry Talent Talks. We are very excited because we have a wonderful guest with us here again today. Who is it, Gary?
Yes, it's the wonderful Gary Trainor.
Yay!
Say hello to the people.
Hello, the people.
Hello, the people.
How are you?
We are so happy that you're here with us today,
I'm
Gary.
so pleased to be here.
Two Garys sitting on a couch.
Shit, G squared.
G squared.
Well, thank you so much for coming down to see us. We are so proud to represent you. You are a wonderful actor with such an incredible CV. So we thought it would be brilliant to get you in, have a wee chat about where it all began and...
Oh, how far back
Back
do
to
we
the
go?
we
roots.
go all the way
All the way back. Okay, but 9 months before I was born, my father came home with a twinkle in his eye. And how did I get into acting? I suppose I'm one of 56 grandchildren on my mother's side.
What?
And I always laughed. There's two reasons why I thought I became an actor. One was because it was the only way to get some attention. You realize you can make them laugh doing skits and bits, and you're like, oh, I like this. And another reason is going to chapel every Easter and stuff. The night before Easter, on Easter Saturday, they do the whole Passion of Christ and stuff. And the priest takes Jesus's lines, and lay people take the other people's lines, and then the congregation take the sort of crowd scenes. And it was like, yeah, crucify him. And then I was always sitting like as a 10, 11-year-old going, I could read that better. But there was theatrics in it. It was complete theatre. But yeah, so from a very young age did Amdram. My mum walked with me from Randallstown to Antrim to do youth lyric.
Wonderful.
We got a lift halfway through, thank God. And then I managed to get a lift every week to go, and then did lots of youth lyric productions. And then I did their Christmas and summer shows as a child chorus, and got involved with Northern Ireland Youth Opera, school plays, the works. It was the dream. It's the sort of like, I want to be a footballer. I then started going like, oh, I want to be an actor, but like no one in my family, in that huge family, did anything like that. And it was like, there was no in. And
Gosh, that's so amazing.
yeah, before sort of internet and all the rest, where you've got people reviewing drama schools or how to do it, or even this program, this podcast, like young people could listen and say like, oh, that person did it that way or that, but no idea.
Yeah.
But I had a very good drama teacher at school, Shelley O'Brien, and she came in with an audition application for Italia Conti. And at the time, my mum was like, no, you're doing a proper
Yes,
degree.
of course, yeah.
So I got in to do biomedical engineering in Belfast. But she says, you've always been doing it. We'll send you over to London, see how you get on. And I got in, and that was kind of my sliding doors moment where I sort of, the biomedical engineering disappeared and I went down the route of drama and theatre. And I studied acting in Italia Conti in London. That's mad, actually, when you think about it. I was 18 going
So
over.
mad and so unusual for somebody from Northern Ireland
Yeah.
to get a spot there as well. I mean,
It was difficult in the sense that there wasn't a hell of a lot going on here, if I'm right,
That's
around
true.
04. And getting into it, there was something like the statistics were 12,000 applied. There was 33 places.
amazing.
That's
And
unreal.
it was that sort of statistic was like what made my parents go like, okay, let's let them at it and support them going over. I think the first term, it was like, oh my God, it was being a fly in the wall in drama school. I was like, what is this nonsense?
What is happening?
I'm rolling from one end of the room to the other as a banana for half a day. I thought
I'm
like,
paying thousands to
I was
do
like,
it as
am
well.
I the only sensible, serious one in this place? Well, I'm not sensible or serious, but it was just like, it was very weird. But you just sort of, I think, let yourself into it and just sort of relax into it. And 3 years went by, got first class honours
Excellent.
in acting. But yeah, then I was in London and I was a gigging actor. I got, I was lucky as well. Luck is huge, but I had talent. I was still putting myself out there and I managed to get gigs. And I suppose when people say, what is a good piece of advice? And it's like that resilience that I heard you talking about in other podcasts. You just have to make yourself available.
Yes.
And yes, bills have to be paid. So you have to go and do something that, you can drop at the drop of a hat and go for it. And work begot work for me. And I sort of slowly made my way up. And I was thinking about it with my wife last night, actually. How did I end up on these gigs? And there is a path, but that's my path.
Yes.
No one else can have that path.
Yeah.
You know, because I got this job. So for instance, I got Potted Potter, which was a Harry Potter parody,
Yes.
and I traveled the world with it. It was amazing. But I got it because 3 years prior I had toured with Stones in His Pockets, and the director of Potted Potter loved Stones in His Pockets. Was like, "We'll see that guy." So that's what got me in that room. And then I did the X Factor musical, I Can't Sing, in the Palladium, which was my first big West End show. And I got that because the casting director loved Potted Potter. And that was on my CV, so that's what got me in the room. I got the job once I was in the room, but that's what got me in the room.
Yeah.
And then it was the same casting director that I got Beautiful with. And then through that, I knew more people. I heard that School of Rock was coming in, and I managed to talk to the right people. And at the time, they were like, "No, he's not right for it." I'm like, "Well, I'm not right for it. I used to pretend to be Jack Black in the primary school." But they came to see me in Beautiful, and I was playing a very serious businessman.
Yes.
And there was like, "Oh, I don't see it." I'm like, "I see it though."
Yeah.
You know, so I kept pushing, and
You're like, I'm an actor. I can switch.
yeah, absolutely. And
Do it.
yeah, so I managed to get I'd sent letters to Andrew Lloyd Webber, to Julian
Fabulous.
Fellows. I mean, like I even have pictures of myself and Neville. Never see these again, going into the post box. Fast forward to first day of rehearsals in that, and Julian Fellows come up to me and says, like, "I'm glad it worked out. I really enjoyed your letter."
Wow.
Now, I don't know if he did anything in the background or not, but like it goes to show that these little tiny things add up to over the course of a long period of time to greater things.
So that's so wonderful because
Amazing.
you put that out there into the universe. You never know whether it's going to come back to you again. And then Julian Fellows himself.
Send the letter.
Send
the
the
letter.
letter.
People like letters as well.
Send the email.
Especially, dare I say it, older people.
Yeah, well, letters are there's something more personal even about it.
Yeah.
Nobody sends letters anymore.
No.
I don't think I've sent a letter in a very long time, and now I feel inspired to go and write someone a letter.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a contact list. You can say, right, send a letter to this person, and we'll let you know who responds.
Well, listen, you just posted an amazing project. Like, if how many emails have you got through?
like 30 odd so
If
far.
you get a nice letter come through the door, what's going to be read first?
That's
I'm not
it.
saying that that's the path, but like,
it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said earlier on about your mum and you walking like a far distance.
Yeah.
Like way back when. So it's fair to say, obviously, she wanted you to have like something to fall back on. But it sounds like that she was there from the very beginning supporting you.
Oh, absolutely.
How important is it to have the support of the family and your people around you?
It is paramount. But the wonderful thing about my family as well is they're never going to let you get your feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, my mum was supportive and stuff, but like, you know, she'd still go up to Andrew Lloyd Webber and say, "My Gary could have been a lawyer, you know." Which is true. Actually did happen. You know, so they are supportive, but they keep your sort of feet on the ground. My wife as well is just completely dialed into what the gig is, you know, and the highs and the lows of that.
Yeah.
You know, so the support network that you surround yourself with is paramount, but also, just belief in yourself too.
100%. But you do need the people to keep you grounded. You know, it's so
Well,
important.
That's it. And no better people to keep you grounded than the Northern Irish.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, sometimes like my sister would have said to me, she's like, "Yeah, but sure, you know, we keep your feet in the ground so that your head isn't in the clouds." And I'm like, sometimes I wish you hadn't.
Just a wee
Let me
bit.
go up
Maybe I
for
would
a
have been
wee
more
10 minutes.
successful, but I don't. No, I like to think of myself as a reasonable human being now because of that. But like I said,
Yes.
maybe if you hadn't have kept my feet in the ground, I could have been stratospheric, but a bit of a
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't want
exactly.
A bit of a
that.
bleep.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No.
And you talked about your highs and lows, so we'll have to go back to that and tell us. So we'll start with the positive, the highs of your career so far. You've been in some amazing shows, and I mean, well, let's talk about them. You know, Back to the Future, School of Rock, etc. So, but what would be your highs? Do you think?
If you're just specifically talking about one day, there's a thing called a sits probe in musicals. I don't know if you're aware of it or your audience are. A sits probe is where the first time the band come together with the cast and you noodle through the music. And I have had the fortune and luck to be in like at least 3 amazing sits probes. And I just remember one for Beautiful, the Carole King musical, one for School of Rock, and one for Back to the Future. And the minute and hour that whole thing comes together, it's also the last time you as a cast member will hear it properly.
Yes,
Because on stage you're getting monitored a different thing than the audience is hearing.
of course.
Those moments I think are real highs.
Yeah.
Because it's that sort of Hamilton thing, like I'm in the room where it happens
Yeah.
right now, and that's an amazing feeling.
Yes.
But yeah, like and then you're playing to thousands of people every night, and
Yes, yeah. And there is a question later from Rosa Fraser, but I'm going to bring it in here now. On that, because when I go to see any West End show, I I just admire the stamina of the actors, and I think about how many nights a week they're doing it, and the memory that you need, and the vocal health you need. How do you keep yourself in good shape the whole way through a long run like that?
20 pints a day. No, I suppose like being physically fit is important. I used to hate it every morning in drama school, but we did half an hour of yoga.
Yes.
Now in my because my body didn't feel like it needed it. But as I get older, it needs it. I need to stretch. Not that I necessarily do it. My wife will laugh at this because she knows I hate yoga. But yeah, just like keeping your body supple. Like it is.
There's a reason
There's
why
a
it's done every
reason,
morning at
yeah.
drama school.
And
the
also you're doing
breathing
things.
and-
If you're on tour, you're in different stages every night. Some with rakes, you know, like where it's on an angle, and you can put your back out very easily on things that you wouldn't know. I put my back out in Back to the Future when I was on the Broadway tour of it, and I was out for 2 weeks.
Gosh.
But how do I keep myself in shape? Vocal exercises in the morning. Get it going.
So important to do the warm
And
up.
a good warm up. It's very important to do the warm up. Now, for any of my colleagues out there, I know that I always usually mess about in the warm ups, but I do enough to get me back. Do what you need to do, I think, is the best thing. Because
Yeah.
I've been in shows with like incredible athletes, the dancers and stuff. I move well to choreography, but I wouldn't call myself a dancer. Now, I watch them warm up and they go for it. And they need to because their body it
Goes
needs
through it.
they're athletic. You know, they are athletes. But yeah, it's the old, and it's boring.
Yeah.
I find it boring anyway. You know, this sort of like me, like warming up. Like when I was doing School of Rock, I would have been warming up for 2 hours before the show.
Wow.
So I would have been in, I would have rolled my back out, I would have stretched out. I generally then went for a hot shower, the steam, and I would have warmed the voice up.
And does the
then I'm
adrenaline
ready.
keep you going?
It can do, but then when the adrenaline disappears, because when you sit down in something for a long time, you have your normal run-of-the-mill Tuesday afternoon,
Yeah.
like anybody does, and like you know the show. That's when I think that's when it gets dangerous, because you become complacent, for want of a better word. You know, you've maybe missed the train, you're getting on another train, you're just going through your daily motion of things, and then all of a sudden you're on stage. And if you haven't done that, I clicked into tonight's show.
Yeah.
I think mentally and physically it can throw you. So it's like sort of find the routine that works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Discipline,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. Yeah.
You'd said about like you 2 hours for warming up and getting yourself ready. I don't
That
think
was
people.
School of Rock. Most other ones not.
But even at that, but most shows you still have to be there at least 2 hours before call time.
Yep.
You have to put in so much work that nobody sees. People say, "Oh yeah, it's just a long run," and they're doing 2 shows a day. But there's so much more that goes into it
Yep.
than what people see on the stage, and I think that's important to highlight. You know, there's so much more going on for people to get prepared and get on that stage.
Yeah, and then add in, if you're in a long running show, people have holidays and you have understudies and swings being put in left, right, and centre. So in warm up time, a lot of people will be put in. You're running sequences. You could maybe get on that night with someone you've never performed the scene with.
Yeah.
Although you know them because you're but you've never performed the scene with, and yeah, you just have to click into that and sort of figure out their rhythms and how.
There's so much goes into the craft that people don't think about.
Yeah,
It's a worldly skill.
yeah.
So, and it's brilliant that you're back here now living in Northern Ireland. And are you enjoying that? Are you enjoying being back home again?
I do. I love it. What I love about it, is, and I touched on it earlier, is when I left, it didn't feel that there was a lot going on, and whether real or imagined, it felt that way for me. And now it feels the complete opposite. It feels there's lots going on. It feels like the old Michelin tire factory in Ballymena is now a studio. Like
Yeah.
I remember working in it as a summer job, and like now, like maybe one day I'll be working in it as an actor. Like that's incredible. I think Game of Thrones did a hell of a lot for that.
Yeah.
My sort of career in London and on tour was that sort of longevity of theatre. Now that doesn't exist in that format here. You know, to like have long contracts in theatre, you would need to go on tour, or you would need to like maybe travel over to London. I mean, what would the average run be in the Lyric, or
Yeah, about
7-8 weeks?
yeah.
Yeah.
And depending on what the show is, etc. You know. So, but yeah, a lot shorter.
Which is great as well. You know, if you can continue getting those short runs, the variety of that's incredible
Oh,
because
That's true.
rep theatre doesn't really exist in the way it once did
Yeah.
back in the sort of 90s and before.
Mm-hmm.
I hear people talk about rep. Do you ever hear about
No.
rep? Like Julie Walters and all the rest, all these old amazing actors all met in repertory theatre.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't exist anymore, and I really lament that, where they honed their craft together. And they were doing maybe Hamlet in the morning, and they were doing some farce in the evening,
Yeah.
like in these different places. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, I wish that happened
Yeah.
more often, but it doesn't. You know,
No.
I suppose commercially it's not viable.
True.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
You talked about Shelley had touched on your highs. Now think we should talk about the lows. What has been the lows in the career?
The list is endless.
But also on the lows, like obviously everybody goes through it, but how do you overcome a low when you're going through it?
it can be like a breakup, like these lows that you can have. I'll give a perfect example. I came back from the Broadway tour of School of Rock into London, started audition again. Lockdown happened, COVID happened. We were out, as everyone knows. We'll not dwell on it, but that was 2 years out, and I was like, right, and I felt like the momentum just disappeared out of my career. Coming back into it, then Mrs. Doubtfire was auditioning in London, and I've always been compared to, I'm not saying I'm like, but like compared to Robin Williams. Everyone always says if there's ever Mrs. Doubtfire musical, you'd be perfect for it. Anyway, I got down to the last 2 or 3. Like I was 7, 8 auditions deep, and it didn't go my way.
Yeah.
And I had sort of like talked myself into this is my job to lose. You know, I nearly believed my own hype in it, like because so many people over the years had said like I remind them of him, and I was like, I think it took me 3 months
3 months.
to really sort of
get
like
over it?
get my, because you go like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Mm.
They don't think I'm good enough. Like, and then you have to remind yourself, like, well, I'm good enough to do this, and this before.
Yeah.
And
Just
that's the
that
thing.
one wasn't the.
And it's not even that you're not good enough.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just you weren't right for that.
For-
They didn't think you were right
Yeah.
for whatever the reason was.
I think also I was fighting an unbeatable challenge because I think they had someone earmarked from the word go.
See, and how frustrating is that?
And that's the reality of it. Like, and
Yeah.
people call it nepotism, they call it whatever, but it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in that instance. But that was a hard one, and I
Yeah.
don't know what it was that clicked in me. I think I just got fatigued at feeling down on myself.
Yeah.
I think I got to the point. Right, that's enough.
Yeah, draw a
I
line
do
under
have an
it.
ability to do that.
Good.
Like I don't know that everyone does, and I
Yeah.
don't know how to instill that in anyone.
Mm.
But it's that sort of. My mum used to say, bringing my mum up, but she used to say, if they don't want you, why would you want them?
Oh, I
love
love
that.
that.
Yeah.
Like
Love
she used
that.
to talk about it in relationships. You know, like I
Yeah.
say, if there was a breakup or whatever, she was like, if they didn't want you, why in the hell would you want them?
Yeah, that's
And I
brilliant.
suppose like if you
Put
could
that
just,
on a mug.
if you could just use that as a click in your head,
Yeah,
you go, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
does make sense. It's
It
drawing
really
the
does.
line under it, and it's when
Yeah.
it's when you eventually, as you say, when you fatigue yourself enough to be like, right, I need to draw a line underneath this, move on.
Yeah, when it's affecting your mental well-being, your health,
Yeah.
you're like, I have to let this go.
I mean, some people turn it into like a I'll show them energy, and I was like, that's fine, but you don't need to show them.
No.
They're not owed anything.
Yeah.
You're the one that's owed something.
Snaps. I love that.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like, and it's easier said than done. And I have,
course.
moments of despair, I suppose, in the industry.
Mm.
You know, like also as you get older in the industry, the responsibilities you have in your life. I've got a child now, like we're married, with mortgage, all the rest. Those responsibilities become more prevalent in
Yeah.
in the immediate. So like the youthfulness of going like I'll go on any tour you tell me to. Yes, all right, I'll get paid pittance, but I'll do it, and I'm working. That doesn't work anymore,
No.
and so in a way, it feels like you're closing off large chunks of the industry because you're like I can't say yes to those things
Yeah.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up waiting for the right thing, as it were. But yeah. But I've sort of like since moving back, and I've always dreamed about being in film and television.
Yes.
I love theatre, love it to my core.
Mm-hmm.
But my dream was always film and television. And in London, because it's so expensive, like you know what it's like. You're waiting for ages for like that little gig. And then if you get that little gig, you get the audition, you get the second edition. And then you got it, and you've got this little speaking part in it, and you've got the thing, and then you don't make the cut at the end of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Or
I
you
know.
do.
Yeah.
But they can be further apart. So I found myself in London taking these long contracts because at least you can breathe. I'm doing the
Yeah.
job.
Yes.
And what if I'm in a 12-month contract? I can enjoy my life. But like, I wasn't able to wait for the TV and film in London as much. The great thing about moving home, we have support around our
Yes.
family. Cost of living is considerably lower. And so like that ability to wait on the right roles coming through. The downside of that is no one knows me.
Yes. And then it's getting to, because you are fab. You nail every tape that you do, and you are so versatile. And I've been lucky enough to work with you in the room with Maureen Hughes, and to see how you respond to direction. And she just thought you were wonderful. So the right thing is coming in film and TV. I believe
it too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be still at it if I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I think that belief in yourself has to maintain.
Yeah.
That old, like I remember in drama school, like people say, it is a lifestyle, folks. It's not, there's no one size fits all. And also, comparison is the thief of joy. If I compared myself, and I have done over the past, to like barometered myself with other peers, and like some of them have gone stratospheric, and some of them have, maybe not done as well as I have. But like it doesn't matter. Like we're all in our own sort of
your
path.
own journey. Yeah.
Again, it's like how to get there is your own journey. How to get past that point to the next point is your own journey. And it's we're watching a lot of Frozen at the minute, as you can imagine, with my little girl.
Yeah.
One of the songs in Frozen 2 is "Do the Next Right Thing." And it's like, well, what can I do?
Yeah. What
today?
is the next right thing?
What is the next right thing to do for me? Right, I can't cry that Steven Spielberg isn't ringing me, but like, what can I do today that can do it? And I'm good at it some days and bad at it in other days, but it's just trying to remember that mantra.
Yeah, I think that's the journey of it all. Some days you're great at it, other days you're not so much. And you just have to get up and get on with it.
Just keep going.
But Shelley had touched on the course that we did with Maureen Hughes. I was there too. It was the first time we'd met each other, and just watching you in the room, everybody that was there that day, so much talent in the room. Like, how beneficial do you? You're great. You don't have to pay me. It's fine. I mean it from my heart. But like, how beneficial do you think doing things like that are for people? Getting in the room with a group of actors, and listening to feedback and doing all that stuff. Like, Maureen Hughes is an icon.
Yeah.
Like, I took so much away from that experience.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, how did you feel about it?
They were valuable.
100%.
Which I lament about the self-tape.
I know, because you don't get the feedback.
There's no feedback.
Yeah.
I think I'm brilliant in the room.
Yeah.
Like, people know whether they want to work with me or not.
Yeah.
But the self-tape, you just can't do that. Mickey touched on it in the podcast. It's like he does his wee bit at the end of self-tapes that can sometimes work. But and also you're just giving your best thought as to what this character or whatever is.
Yeah.
There's very, very rarely any director's notes. I have a great director friend, Tom Clarkson, who I've worked with quite a bit, who's wonderful actually. He does a lot of commercials. He sends a video of himself. This is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And sometimes that's like, we don't know. So like, try something, and it just makes you go as an actor like, okay, right, I've got something to hold on to here.
Yes.
But so many times I wish I could like have feedback and do a second take.
I know.
I suppose another reason why I wanted to do more film and television, because even in the world of musicals, is that the people that get the biggest jobs and the biggest paying jobs are those with profile, and they got their profile from TV and film.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's such a weird crossover thing. And then like, I have such an excellent CV with stage work, but it doesn't seem to be translating into currently people having a lot of interest in like bringing me in as someone with profile.
Yeah.
But I love that you said currently. 'Cause it's
Currently.
going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, in a way, it feels like starting from scratch again. But if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
I think there's some beauty in that as well.
Of course.
Although it's frustrating.
Of course.
But it's like, I get to do this again, and start a new kind of chapter there.
Well, there's the two options: you keep going or you give up.
Yeah, and we don't give up.
But also there's great strength in knowing that you want to give up.
True.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But this podcast is about us staying in it. But like, I know friends that just said, I got to the point, it's not for me, and I actually admire the strength that they have in that. I sometimes compare the world. It's like, it's kind of like maybe a gambler. It's that sort of like when you're down in your luck, it's like, I need to get out of this. But then the audition comes in, or the job comes in, or that job comes in, and you're like, I'm back at it. We're back in the room. We're going again. All's forgiven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Let's go to the questions now, Gary. Let's have a look.
Questions.
Here we go.
So I will go first. Have you ever had a moment on stage where something went completely wrong, and how did you recover?
But yeah, I think that multiple occasions. There was a time in Beautiful, the Carole King musical, Lorna Want, a fantastic actress, storms off stage. She's come in, said her piece, and she's wonderful, and I'm following her out the door. But her high heel gets stuck in the set, and all this set has like lots of moving parts to it. So that until that got out of the set, the show wasn't going on. It would have been a show stop. So I was like, I'm coming behind her, and I was like, what do I do here? And I pick up the I managed to took me a good what felt like 20 seconds, but it's maybe 2 or 3 seconds to like dislodge it. And I remember like, what do I do here to save this moment? And I was the manager of the thing, so I was as I walked out the door, I was like, really got to get that door fixed or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And like the audience laughed, and it was all good. There was another one with Stones in His Pockets. So I was an alternate on it when I toured years ago. And if you remember, it goes, boom, lights up at the very start. There's a big preamble. And the guy says, I'll have the lemon meringue pie, please. And unfortunately, the two characters, one of the characters took ill. And I'm sitting in the dressing room. So he walks off. And they're like, oh, so we're being put into caution very quick. Back up. They're like, right, we're going to pick up from where we left off. I was like, no, the audience, they seem really... this has been about 15 minutes of a show stop at this point. Just play the preamble. It's only a minute and a half.
Yes.
Just start the show again. And so I'm so glad that they did, because it went, big preamble, lights up. I'm like, how do I get these guys on side? And I was like, I'll have the lemon meringue pie that guy was going to have.
Yeah.
And laughter, everyone's relaxed, and away we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fell on my arse multiple occasions. And you get up and you go, and so,
But that's the thing, like, things can go wrong, like on TV and film, you've got so many different takes. You're grand. When you're on a stage and in front of a live audience, things can go wrong, and it's how you handle getting up and getting on with it.
You get coughing
Show
fits in the
must
middle
go
of
Show
stuff.
must go on.
But you know what? Until it doesn't as well. The other thing about being in a long-running show is like show stops happen.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
People say the show must go on. It doesn't always. Like I remember the norovirus like flew through the cast in Beautiful to the point that they were down to the 4th cover Carol. And bless her, like she's an incredible actress, Joanna Woodward, and she almost got to the end of Act 1 and she can feel it coming and she's singing and she has to walk off and that's it. The show's down. Everyone go home. But things happen. People.
They do.
Do you know? Like I think the old adage of the show must go on doesn't always.
We had a fire
sense.
alarm go off in Armagh. We had a show stop there in December. It's the first time, it was all, but it happens. We just went back, reset. And also, little Jake, who we were working with, went off, banged his nose with the door, or his head, can't remember exactly. And he didn't even know that he was bleeding. He came back on stage to me, and I'm going... continuing on with my lines. We leave the stage after and I'm like, you have blood all over you, and he's like, what? Oh no. So then he had to go, and literally like they had to put like a stitch, not one of them like plasters on him, and Sean says to me, you're gonna have to go on without him. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I can do it, it's fine. And then I was getting to the end of my speech and I was like, he has a line. And I was like, I forgot about this. And he ended up coming through the base store, and I went, how did you get in there? Get out here. You just have to get up and get on with it.
Yeah.
But there's something kind of fun as well when things like that happen. It's like, that's the challenge. How are you going to overcome this and get on with it?
Sort of gear changes you into a different mindset.
Definitely, 100%. It's so much fun.
Good. So, next question. How do you build a character from scratch? Do you start with your voice, physicality, or the backstory? Tell us your process.
Most of my career has been in American and English accents.
Yes.
So generally, you start there. The script, it's always a script. Most good scripts will give you who the character is through reading between the lines or through, like, this is the character. And then my process is play. And the wonderful thing about theatre, especially when you've got reasonably large rehearsal periods, is that you have the ability to play and then, play better the next time.
So, like in Back to the Future, for example, were you trying to make your Doc Brown your own, or are you trying to play it true to the original?
Yeah, I mean, there's affectations I think I took from the original actor whose name has escaped me. But he is him, and I could never be him. Number one, he's about 2 feet taller than me.
Yes.
but yeah, the vocal quality of him, I think, was brought into it because it's recognizable.
Well, audiences like that familiarity of
Yeah.
the character.
But also, I was watching because I covered the part, but I got on quite a bit. I covered Roger Bart, the incredible Roger Bart, and he brought his own thing to it. And you know, people steal
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm having that.
Yeah.
I'm having that. The way he said that line, and then actually when you try it, they're like, oh, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So you have to do something else, and figure something else out. But there's great freedom in restriction. I know that's an oxymoron, but like,
Okay.
especially when you go in to do a show that already exists, you're being put into a blocking that you maybe don't think is natural to you, but like, that's your parameters. You cannot go outside of those parameters, but within those parameters, you can have, the sky's the limit as to what you do, you know, and also having then a lot of faith in a director that would tell you to pull it back. It's always easier to pull something back than it is to try and up it.
Yeah.
You know, especially for theatre. TV and film is a different beast, but character work.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, do your homework.
Yeah.
Or we'll
Okay,
shout at Jay.
Fabulous.
So this one's so important. Who is the coolest person you know, and why is it your wife calling?
Did she send that in?
She did.
Yeah.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Colleen.
I was like, who said it's Colleen? Oh, it's obviously Colleen. Colleen is great. She's more dramatic than I am. I'm only dramatic when I get paid. She does it as a living. But she's great in any room. See, I'm not great at mingling. I am, but I'm not. Like I get a bit angsty.
Yeah.
She breezes through it. So like when me and her like at sort of events, like I always love having her there because also she's not there to talk about acting because she's an architect and she's like talks to these like sort of people I really want to talk to, but she disarms them by talking about anything else.
Yes.
And then I sort of I'm chatting away to them as well, and then all of a sudden you're chatting to these big producers and whatnot about nice stuff. Because like all these times you're basically saying like your eyes are going, give me a job, give me a job, give me a job, give me a job, give me a job. But like you just want to also then have a personal relationship with them at the end of the day because that's what then begets that person going like, oh, he's nice, and we get him in, all the rest.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes, Colleen, you're
relationships.
incredible.
You are incredible. But it is all about relationships as well. Like obviously you have to have the perseverance and the talent, but building relationships, being nice and friendly and, just getting on with people is so important as well.
People love to talk about the person that's not a very nice person getting all the work. And yes, that is true. There's certain people that are difficult, seem to get work, but more often than not, people that are easy to work with get more work, and and people turn around and go like, they were great to work with.
That's it.
The amount of times I've been in a room where assistant directors and choreographers are talking about, we've got a cast change coming up. Do you know anyone? And it's basically, do you know anyone? Like, and they're talking about it before the casting director even gets on board. And like, there's such and such mentioned. No, they're going to be difficult.
That's it.
And it's like these things
Matter.
preamble. Know what your fight is. I'm not saying my biggest mantra if I ever go into like drama schools to do a talk or anything is don't burn your bridges. Obviously, don't put up with abuse or anything abusive situations. Know where your fight is, but don't burn bridges just by throwing your toys out of the pram about something that didn't go your way or that try and maintain a sense of yourself because people will remember it.
Yeah, it's really important not to burn bridges. That's a really good piece of advice.
Yeah,
that's a really
love
good
that.
piece of advice. Okay, good. So this is quite a nice one. What advice would you give your younger self starting out?
My younger self, I suppose maybe do the research. I sort of fell into drama school in a way. I know that I didn't, but that was the only opportunity that came my way. If I was to do it again, I would have researched a bit harder. I'm not downplaying my drama school, but I think others would have maybe afforded me better opportunities.
Okay.
If I could have tried for them, if I could have got in, but like, and yeah, I think it's the research. Find out who you're talking about, who you want to be talking about, who you want to work with from a very young age. I also sort of like, even now, I don't know that like what would the dream role be? I was like, I don't know. I just want to find something that clicks.
Fills your soul.
I used to say that like Private Gar in Philadelphia Here I Come would be my dream role.
Yes.
And I think I've aged out of it now. Unless I do, I'll produce my own. Shall we do it?
Let's
Shall we do
go.
it?
Let's go.
I'll produce my own version of it. But what was the question again?
Yeah, advice to your younger self, which you said,
Advice to
do
yourself.
your research.
Research.
Do your research.
More research.
Yeah, okay, good.
Have you ever thought about quitting and what made you stay? I know that you kind of touched on that, but has there been a pinnacle moment where you're like,
I think
I've
3
had
days
enough.
ago, and then Shelley texted me, did I want to do a podcast? And I was like, yeah.
hey.
Did I want to? I felt quitting. Yeah, there's been times I've been in relationships before Colleen. Sorry, where I suppose that partner didn't respect what I did, and I think I was almost ready to quit for that person, which I think is complete. Now looking
Gosh, can you
back on it,
imagine?
it's like yeah.
Yeah.
But there are many occasions. But then I look and I go, this is the toolkit which I have, which I've garnered for 40 years. And this is the thing that I can do. So it's like, well, I just need to find work to do it in.
Yeah.
You know, be it voice over, be it. I've been looking at mocap and stuff recently. I'm always looking for things like what else could my toolkit do? You know, and mocap seems like a really cool thing. Motion capture for games.
Okay,
You know,
right.
voiceover for games and things because it's a huge burgeoning industry.
Yes.
But yeah, just always looking for like new experiences in finding out what I am good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm good at many things, but like there's maybe more things. And as I age up, you know, what else can I be good at?
Yeah.
Maybe take up tap.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've always wanted to do top. We can take lessons
absolutely.
together. But I
I
think
was in a
that
kick line in the Palladium in London. I'll have
if
you know.
we had the
Wow.
space
And I have
right
hobbit
now,
legs. If I can do it, I can get hobbit legs, tiny ones.
but you, I think it's so important for people in this industry to have different pockets.
Yeah.
You know, because you're never done learning. So
No.
trial and see what you can do and see what else you can add to the CV. And it's so important to keep going.
The internet's a wealth of opportunity as well for. I mean, learning. I play guitar. I sing in pubs and stuff. It keeps keeps me ticking over until other contracts come in. But like I learned to play the guitar from printed out tablature on a very embryonic website years ago. But like nowadays, you can up on your phone or on an iPad.
Right.
It tells you where the strings are and it tells you how to play it. And that's for piano, for anything. There's also lots of master classes on there that you know just sit and
Just go on to YouTube.
work on yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, always be progressing in some way, shape, or form. Developing, self-development.
And what
Absolutely.
Shelley always says is give yourself the best chance.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it by,
Gonna get that etched on the door.
Yourself
yeah.
the best chance possible. Yeah.
I love it.
We've got one last question here, which is, what do you think makes a great actor versus a good one?
A great actor versus a good one. That's a very good question. I suppose it's the belief in the character. You can get into a character in whatever way that you can. It's how I find it very difficult to say to someone what my process is because there's so many things that I've taken from other things over the years, how to find that. And even to the point that I then try and make it as organic as possible. But what makes a good one rather than... A good one gets up and reads the lines and tries to emote the lines, whereas a fantastic one lives the lines. I don't know, that sounds really...
No. I know.
No,
what
I
you
know
mean.
what you're trying to say. Like a good actor who gets up, does the lines, it's a believable performance. A great one potentially makes you feel it in your soul.
Well, it's the work. I mean, and me at my worst has been, and here's a great one. Any audition, there should be 3 outcomes. You go in, you ace it, you get the job. You go in, you ace it, you weren't right for the job. You go in and you muck it up because you're not prepared. That's the only one in your control.
Yeah.
That's the only one that you can control the outcome of.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe buys into what's the difference between a good actor and a great actor is like maybe the preparedness. Knowing the lines, knowing them till you can say them organically, that you're not searching or scrabbling for them.
Yeah.
Connection.
Yeah, listening as well. I love watching someone that listens. I mean, it's difficult to see it on edit sometimes because an editor can do things, but if you see it on stage, you can see an actor. You can see when an actor's not listening.
Yeah.
A mile off, and that sounds the opposite because you're listening to them, but like you can see when they're not listening. I went to see a show in Belfast recently. I'll not say what it was, but no one was listening to each other on stage. You know, and it was like, but the one girl that was stood out like a beacon. And these are all professional actors, like these people doing it as a living. It wasn't an amateur production. So yeah, I suppose it goes back to preparedness. Will always boost your performance.
Yeah.
It'll never hinder it.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you,
your
Laura.
wonderful.
You're
We'd sit
welcome.
here and chat to you all day.
All day.
Yeah. I've nowhere to be.
We're going
Stay tuned for
paddleboarding.
part
What are you
2.
talking about?
I'm
We're
going
going
paddleboarding.
We're going
Just bought
paddleboard.
Yeah.
I'm going to paddle back up the loch.
Yes. But no, honestly, Gary, thank you so much for coming
Thank you
down
for having me.
today.
pleasure.
It's been lovely to getting to know you more because obviously we've only met a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed this chat. Your class, your pure
no,
class.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
So thank you once again for listening to Shelley Lowry
Talent Talks with our special guest,
Gary.
Trainor.
Gary.
We'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Gary.
Gary.